I want to sack Lesser Massacre to Altar of Dementia,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna mill you for two.
Mill who?
Carp,
Mill me?
carp.
Sure.
Yeah, mill you for two. It has persist, so when
Okay.
it dies, it's gonna come back.
Okay.
Vizier of Remedies doesn't allow it to gain a -1/-1 counter,
Okay.
so I'm gonna mill you for two again.
Okay.
Infinitely.
No. Continue the loop. No. Continue the loop. No. Continue the loop. No. Continue the loop.
Okay, I'll mill Flippity out of the game,
Sure.
and then I'll cast Corpse Knight from my graveyard, and I'll sack Lesser
Wait a
Mass
second. How are you casting Corpse Light from your graveyard?
using Luris's ability.
You can't cast it for free. You have to pay mana to cast it.
Oh, that's true. So I'll start milling myself.
Wait a second. Wait a second, brother. So sack your Master Core for the first
Okay.
time. After you kill Flippity. After you mill Flippity.
Hmm.
Sure.
Okay. Who are you targeting?
I'll target myself for two.
Okay. With the persist trigger on the stack, I will pay green.
It's
Choose
not a
a life.
trigger.
Yes, it
Is the
is.
trigger.
It is a trigger. It's a die trigger.
Okay.
So your Master Core is still in the graveyard with the persist trigger on the stack. I will eat it with Deathrise Shaman. We'll exile.
Sure.
So your Master Core gets exiled, and then you mill two.
Sure. Here go.
All right. It's
So
Flippity's go.
draw and die.
Okay. I will cast that guy right there. I will activate it, give it to you.
Okay.
I'll grab that card. I'll go ahead and cast Thassa's Oracle.
Yep.
ATB on the stack, I'll hold priority. Lose a life. Tainted Pact.
Okay.
Round two, fight.
I'm gonna dance the dead to flesh duplicate.
Yeah, draw. Four.
You may draw.
Oh, where are my lands?
If that's good, then I'm gonna
Wait, wait
copy
a second.
Dockside.
Relax. Flippity
Yeah,
has priority.
I pass.
I will sack 4 treasures. Going down to 2 treasures, activate Thrasios.
Okay.
I will bottom this and reveal a Born Upon a Wind. And I pass priority.
I passed priority.
Alrighty.
So dance
It'll
ETBs.
enter as a Dockside.
Well, dance now ETBs. Now it's your
Dance
target.
enters with the creature.
Yeah.
No,
That's how these enchantments work.
No, sir.
Yes.
No,
Dance
sir.
dance
No, sir.
enters with the
A
creature.
dance is a eroded text. You cast it when it ETBs, then you target.
Huh?
Yes.
No, you have to declare it
No,
has
sir.
to have a target from the stack.
When it ETBs, sir.
What are you talking about?
The way it's worded, it's old wording. It's Dance of the Dead. The other animate, reanimate enchantments, the ETB. That's when they target.
Yeah, the trigger.
Yes, it says when it enters the battlefield, if it's on the battlefield, it loses enchant creature card in a graveyard, and instead gains an enchant creature put onto the battlefield with Dance of the Dead.
Yes.
It's not an ETB.
When it says when it ETBs, it says when it enters the battlefield.
Yes, but it's not a trigger. It enters with the creature.
When it enters, not as it enters.
It says when it enters, if it's on the battlefield, it loses enchant creature card in a graveyard and gains enchant creature put onto the battlefield with Dance of the Dead. That has nothing to do with what its effect is. You have to have a target on the stack.
No, you don't. So
Yeah.
it says when it enters is an ETB trigger.
It says, listen, it says put enchanted creature onto the battlefield. Okay, you have to be able to enchant a creature. There's no creature on the battlefield for a target, so it pulls the creature onto the battlefield with it. Then it switches to enchant creature enchanted by Death of the Dead.
When it enters the battlefield, you're gonna get the creature, but I just explained to you that that's not how. The way you think it works is not how it works.
It's not an enters the battlefield trigger.
Okay, so
Can I
it
just
says
interject if you don't mind as a
It
third
just
party?
checks if it
So
if
it
it
says
just checks
when it-
if it's on the battlefield. When it enters the battlefield, it checks if it's on the battlefield. That has nothing to do with the rest of the resolution of the ability.
Relax, homie, relax. The card
So-
says when Dance of the Dead ETBs, if it's on the battlefield. So when ETBs, the card is on the battlefield.
Right. Continue
Right?
reading. There's a
So
period.
this is the reason why it doesn't. This is the reason why that goes there. So when it ETBs, right? If I go ahead and Cycriff your Dance of the Dead back, the ETB
No.
trigger goes on the stack and it fizzles.
That's not true.
Yes,
The
sir.
ETB trigger only has to do with the top section of the card. If you read, there's a period. After that period, it is a completely separate effect of what the enchantment actually does.
You get Flesh Duplicate, you're gonna get it. There's no stopping. But I'm just trying to explain to you how the card works because this is not the first time that happens. It's happened in tournament, and there's judges been called, and that's how it's been explained. The reason it says when it enters the battlefield, if it's on the battlefield, right? So Chain of Vapor, it's a card, right? What does it do? It bounces.
Yes, no.
permanents,
But here's
right?
what I'm saying, though, Carp. Here's what I'm saying.
Let me
The
finish.
only
let,
thing
me,
that-
let me finish.
The only
Let me-
thing
let
that
me
the
don't-
ETB trigger,
Oh my
listen, Carp.
God.
The only thing the ETB trigger is altering is the text on the card for what it's enchanting.
If
That has nothing to do.
Can I finish explaining it? You cast Dance of the Dead, right? Cast resolves. ETBs. ETB trigger goes on the stack. It's gonna check if it's on the battlefield. But if I
No,
respond
Carp,
to them,
Carp,
let me finish.
regardless-
Let me finish.
Carp, I need
Let
you to
me
understand something.
finish.
I know what
Let
you're
me
saying,
finish.
but regardless of that, you
Let me
still
finish.
enter with the creature.
Let me finish. It ETBs, right? ATB trigger on the stack is gonna check if the enchantment is on the battlefield. If I chain a vapor your enchantment or Cycriff your enchantment, when it goes back to your hand, the ETB trigger resolves. It's gonna check if it's on the battlefield. If it's not on the battlefield, that target fizzles. You cannot.
That is not true. That is not true at all. Read the card. Read the errata. The only thing that it checks for when it enters is that it's on the battlefield. And if it's on the battlefield, then it changes the text from enchant creature in a graveyard to enchant creature enchanted
It's-
by.
I'm not gonna win this. It's fine. Again, like I said, you already have Flesh Duplicate. Obviously,
I know,
you make a copy of Dockside.
I just
but
don't want. I just don't want this to come up like at an event.
It has
because
come
I-
up at an event. That's why I'm letting you know how it
But
how
I
it
am
works.
telling you for certain, Carp, I was training to be a judge. That is not how that works at all.
Let me ask you a
Chances
question.
that
Did you
enters-
become a judge?
I didn't become a judge
Okay,
only
that's-
because my
that's all that
LGS
matters.
shut down.
All right. So,
Okay. Anyways,
Dama.
Big Kodama.
how many cards in
I'm
hand
gonna
do you have,
go-
Ryan?
I have 2 cards in hand.
Sin, how many? Two.
2.
You got a four.
I'm gonna go
I have 10.
to combat, and then I'm gonna go Charming Scoundrel and the flesh duplicate copy of Dockside at Flippity, and the 1/4 and the 2/2 at Carp, since I can't do damage to Brian. So it's a
Data
3/3 and a
untap the Dance of the
1/1.
Dead creature.
Huh?
Data untap the Dance of the Dead creature.
I never swung it.
It enters tapped, right? Does it enter
No.
untapped?
No, I came to play last turn.
No, it doesn't
but
enter
it
tap,
doesn't-
but it It doesn't enter tap, but it doesn't untap.
Yeah, it does enter tap.
What is
Put
it?
it onto into your play tapped with the 1/1.
Oh, tapped with the 1/1. Okay, yeah. So I can't swing it then.
And it stays tapped.
Yeah, it doesn't
Pay
untap
2
unless
on
you
upkeep
pay
or untap it.
2 on upkeep. So I'll just say that I sacked 2 treasures then because I
No,
need a
because
swing here.
no, you passed that already. Remember, you went to judge school. You should know.
Okay, so since it's not okay with the table, I won't sack 2 treasures. And it'll be tapped, and I'll just swing all 3 at Carp then to guarantee the Timina trigger.
Well, you sent the
I
charming
can't declare the
scoundrel.
attackers I was declaring because
You declared attacker charming scoundrel to flippity.
I can't declare the attackers I was declaring because the board state was not properly represented.
You declared Timna and Luda to me, charming and the other thing to flippity.
Right, but
Because
the
the
board
other
state was not properly represented.
because the
We
other
had
thing
to.
cannot swing. The only one that can swing is scoundrel. So scoundrel goes to flippity, and I'll take 2 from Timna and 1 from Ludovic. So I'll take 3.
Does your playgroup like you?
No,
Like, actually,
that's why I'm
I'll
playing
go to
alone by
second
myself.
main phase, and I'll draw a card to lose a life, and then I'll go to my end step and I'll draw for Ludovic, and then scoop.
Gonna just flash in a contain.
Carpa, you give a bad name to commander players.
Oh my god.
That's brutal.
I'm gonna go home now. Oh wait, I'm home.